Hello everyone and welcome to another Naraka Bladepoint video. This is OSK and today I wanted to give my first impressions of the new hero ZIPING. Now ZIPING has been out for about half a week now. It's been about 4 days since the patch, so I figured that I would hop into a bunch of matches with her and kind of get a feel for how strong she is both in solos and even in trios, which you know on this channel that we never do, but we happened to grab some friends over the weekend and we made sure to get at least a few games in so I could get a feel for her. Now, of course, I'm sure you've seen her face here and there on Naraka's promotional materials, but let me break down her skills and abilities so that you can make sure that you absolutely know what we're getting into with this first impressions video. Starting with her first skill, aromatherapy, this allows her to continuously gain health and armor while gaining a 20% resistance to any incoming damage for 5 seconds. And the second version of her skill, aromatherapy Umarman, allows her to throw down the same twig while also gaining an inspiration shield that will block the hit stun of normal light attacks. And this shield will last for 12 seconds or until enough health or armor is broken. Both skills cannot be used while under attack, but both allow ZIPING to dash towards her twig if she's close enough or throw to other teammates if you're in duos or trios. Meaning that these skills are not simply self-buffs, they can be applied to your teammates as well, which makes her very great in team situations especially, but even so, they're still effective in solos as you will see in this video. The two versions of her ultimate that we have now are called Saving Grace. The first version allows her to have an automatic sedate soul, which is basically a revive with an airborne strike. This is available at 100 rage automatically upon taking lethal damage, and if you happen to activate her ultimate at 70%, anywhere from 70 to 100, then you can increase her healing ability and healing abilities of allies for 30%. This effect will drain ZIPING's range and also applies to character skills and abilities, not just healing items that you'll find. This makes it very useful for both solos and trios. And finally, the second version of her ult that we have is Saving Grace Aegis. This applies Sedate Soul even at 70% of her ultimate rage, and will apply Sedate Soul to all of her teammates at the same time. Activating this version of the ultimate will constantly drain the rage of ZIPING's ultimate, and the Sedate Soul effect will dissipate after enough time has run out. This effect is going to be much more important in trios than in solos, as you do have to activate your ultimate in order to do this, and this is a lot more easy to take advantage of whenever your opponent has to deal with 3 enemies instead of just you. It also allows you to swoop in the nick of time if you know that a teammate is about to die, and you can quickly activate this to save their life. Not to mention, each version of Sedate Soul also grants damage resistance by 20% for 5 seconds after activation, which is pretty nice in a fight. So that's a brief description of her skills and abilities. Now let's get into some gameplay so you can see how these play out in action. Now before we get started, of course, if you like this sort of video and you'd like to see more, please be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe, share it to your friends if you like it that much, and comment down below what your favorite thing about the new hero is. And of course, as always, thank you so much for watching the video. And now let's get into some gameplay of ZIPING.
I'm under attack! I need more time! It's not ready yet! Good health is the greatest gift of all. Come to me and be healed. I prefer to save lives, but not ready yet. Come to me and be healed. to save lives, but armor this good might put me out of business. I won't make the same mistake twice.
Chug, chug, chug!
I prefer to save lives, but you got in my way. Sorry. It's too damaged. Not ready yet. I prefer to save lives, but
Now that you've finished watching some gameplay of ZIPING, let's go ahead and go over my first impressions for the new hero. Let's start with the pros and then move to the cons. First, let's get the obvious out of the way. She is great at synergizing with the rest of her team. You can take her into a trio team and pair her with another support character like Kurumi to make your team absolutely unkillable in certain situations. As I mentioned before, the 30% healing regeneration buff that she gets on her ultimate also applies to Kurumi's abilities, which means that any sacred circle that you put down can be amplified that much more and can make you absolutely unkillable in certain situations. This can be a very nice boon if you're running a Tianhai, for example, that has the third version of his ult where he can heal off of slamming opponents, which is very, very nice for survivability in Naraka. Another pro of hers is that she is very tanky. You wouldn't think it given her stature and the way that she looks, but she can put down some damage resistances and consistently heal throughout a fight, meaning that she'll be hard to put down in a 1v1 situation. Add to that her ultimate also gives her a knockback and a revive upon lethal damage. This makes it to where she is one of the hardest heroes to kill in the current Naraka Bladepoint meta. She outpaces just about everyone in ability and isn't hampered by any skills, meaning that she can get out of danger and then quickly get back into it if she needs to. Maybe I didn't say it loud enough, but Sedate Soul having a free revive is absolutely essential to her kit, and it makes her so strong in the current solo meta. And the fact that with Saving Grace Aegis she can pass it on to all of her teammates makes it so oppressive. If you want to take her the other way, then you can run the second skill, Aromatherapy Umarman, and absolutely ignore any of the hit stun that you would normally get from light attacks. This can make her an absolute force in offensive situations, making it easier for her to get combo starters off, and she'll just have such an easier time on the offensive side of play. And now let's get into the cons of playing her. From a pure character standpoint, she will not be providing any combo starters for your team if you decide to run her. ZIPING's gameplay is more focused around buffs and healing, so you won't be getting any attacks from her. This can make it a challenge if you want to run a purely offensive comp unless you run her to give buffs to your two primary attackers, but you will not be running 3 attackers if you run her in your team comp. This segues nicely into con number 2 in that she cannot use any of her abilities to extend combos or end them either. The only part of her abilities that have a hitbox are Sedate Soul, which only activates on lethal damage, which you'll be trying to avoid anyway. Now this is in line with her kit, not saying that being too defensive is necessarily a bad thing, but she does not have any offensive capabilities aside from that. In the same vein, she also has limited movement capabilities, the only one being the short dash you can gain off of casting one of her abilities. Another con I have for her is that she cannot use her abilities while under attack. She will need to wait until a combo is over before she can counter, meaning that she can be liable for a lot of damage and can especially be caught in a Tarka Infinite, for example. This makes her very susceptible, especially in the solo mode, to getting just absolutely one comboed from certain characters. And the same goes for trios as well, as you can get wombo comboed by an entire team if you're not careful and with no way to get out. And finally, the last con I have for her is that her kit is especially vulnerable to burning or poisoning effects. She currently has no way to cleanse any debuffs, and burning will actually cut her healing by quite a bit, so if you're getting attacked by a Flamebringer or by a Tarka G with fireballs or any other sort of deal, then you could be in for a world of hurt. Overall, I think she's a fine character to be in the current meta, but I do not think that she is one of the strongest at this point. Overall, in solos, I think she has a great sense of staying power in that as long as she doesn't get one comboed, she can absolutely turn the fight around given it enough time. And there have been more than one occasion where I have been saved by the extra life. However, there are characters that have enough in their kit to where you won't even need a second life from them. It almost feels like this was built into her kit to compensate for her lack of abilities otherwise. So in the solo mode, I think that she is decent. I think she's right up there in maybe A or B tier along with Tarka G and maybe Tumulch, but no higher than that. I think she will still get outclassed by characters such as Wu Chen, Justina Gu, Matari, and Yodohime. Now on the trio side of things, I think that she could absolutely break the game. Most of her abilities are meant to synergize with other abilities or other ways of healing, meaning that you can pair a Kurumi or anyone else that heals on your team to get an absolute hella boost from her. I think she is better suited being in the back line of a comp, meaning that she can provide heals from afar, potentially wield a ranged weapon before hopping in herself. There is the tough decision of whether to run Ultimate 1 or Ultimate 2, depending on whether you want to provide healing buffs to your team or if you want to be able to pass certain sedate souls to the rest of your team. But overall, I think that she's going to take the first version of her ult, as she will in solos, and just amplify healing buffs to an absurd degree, and this can make it absolutely oppressive for any team that wants to go up against them. Again, mark my words, someone's going to pair her with Kurumi and find a good offensive option in the other camp and just absolutely wreak havoc. I can see it already. That's not to say that I think that she will be a must pick or anything like that, but I think that she'll be a very, very strong option in the right team comp. Even though I haven't officially ranked her or any trios for that matter, I think that she could place either in low S or maybe mid to high A. That's kind of where I'm at right now. But yeah, that's going to be it for the video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this sort of video and you want to see more of this content, then be sure to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel as always. A big thank you to our channel members. Thank you very much for the support that you have given me. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. And with that, guys, I am going to go ahead and get out of here. Be sure to check the description, follow me on Twitter, and join the Discord. And with that, I'll be gone. I've been OSK. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.
I know life is getting harder, not like I would choose another. My tears with healing powers, just one drop to recover. Can't stop me cause I'm defeated.